But here's the other thing, real quick, Corey, is that this is just my opinion, but I feel like today's lack of effort might be slightly connected to preparing and thinking and planning for scum. And what
Probably.
I mean by that is that I watch all the player interviews. I watch the coach interviews. I can pick up little nuggets from that. This last interview session, 3 or 4 players mentioned the scum game and how they were looking forward to it and excited about it without being prompted, really.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Day is getting them ready. I can tell in the coach's room, he's explaining to them. He's like, he's sprinkling it. Okay, now it's time to ramp up and get ready for this game. And we need to rest some guys and get ready for this game. Get in there and get a win and get out, whatever. And I think we kind of, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a tough thing to walk, but clearly we kind of got caught sleeping today.
No,
you feel me? Does that make sense, Corey?
No, I agree with you. I think they were looking forward to another game. Look, this team was 1-7. They lost to Iowa by 20. We smoked Iowa. I mean, I think we kind of figured we'd go in. Here's last question for me today, for you, B. We saw last year they struggled in the snow against Michigan. Today they struggled in the massive wind. I understand the elements, they do impact the game. There's no denying that. But does this team struggle to play in weather?
You said that's the question?
Yeah, that's the question. Does this team just struggle to mentally play in weather?
So here's the thing. I guess my pushback against that is CJ Stroud threw for 394 yards in that weather at Scum last year. So I can't, and I've rewatched that game. I know a lot of people avoid that game like the plague, and I understand it. Trust me. But I went back and rewatched that game a few times, and it was really, even with the elements in weather, I can't help it, bro. I have to rewatch games or it'll drive me crazy. Me not rewatching the game would drive me crazier than watching a game that was trash. Like, that's just how it is. Because I like to try to get a better handle on what's going on. But with that said, 394 in that weather. I mean, you can't, there's no way to spin that.
Well, that's fine, but I'm saying the team. I mean, maybe not CJ, but the team. Does the team just not like playing in weather? Because it seems like I won't say we came out flat against Michigan, but we certainly got manhandled. So in this game, we were being out physical for a while in this game. So it's like it's the weather part of it. Like, we just I don't weather's not perfect. I don't want to play in it.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a weather thing because I was, for example, I'm trying to think of the next worst weather game. And it was probably Indiana at Indiana. I went to that game. I was there in the stadium, and it was pouring down rain. And we were still, and I know it was Indiana, but it was still really bad weather. But we were still executing. We were still catching balls downfield, still blocking. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily know if that's an issue more so than today just being an overlooked game and we just came out poorly. I mean, there's not.
So you think it's just a perfect storm today? It's weather combined with overlooking it, combined with maybe just sleepwalking a little bit. Looking forward to the Scum game, but then you add the weather element into it, makes it even harder. And when you don't have it turned. Zach Smith talked about it. When you don't have it turned on all week, it's hard to just flip a switch on Saturday and you're good to go.
Right.
So I mean, So you needed to turn it on for the weather because it's like, okay, this game's gonna be hard. As soon as I saw the wind killing those flagpoles, I was like, Steve, this is gonna be a closer game than people now that because of this. There's no way. I looked at it, I was like, there's no way CJ can throw in this. It's just not possible. There's sometimes I think people use the wind as a crutch. Like if there's a gust here and there, like, oh, well, the wind was bad. I don't care. It wasn't that bad for the game. But this game was an anomaly. The wind was really, really ridiculous in this game. So I get it. That's why I'm not chirping on CJ too much because he did what he finally ran the ball, did what he had to do to move the ball and to win the game. I don't think everything was his fault. There was some drop passes that were egregiously bad. He missed a couple throws for sure, but it's so hard to calculate what you got to do to get the ball to a receiver who's by the way, there wasn't great separation either. So to make pinpoint passes when the wind is this bad is extremely difficult to ask Aaron Rodgers, let alone CJ Stroud. So I'm not totally on his case today. I just think the team as a whole came out flat and they just in the bad weather just affected our game plan. Like I said, kudos to the coaching staff for making the adjustments necessary to move the ball.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It was just an ugly, frustrating, disappointing watch today. I mean, it just was,
Yeah.
and they know that. And here's the thing: as emotional as we are during the game and frustrated as we are,
Sorry.
it's like I've seen we've seen too much football to just say, oh, we're done. We're gonna lose the last 3 games. Like it doesn't work like that. This team is going to play better. They're going to learn from this. These coaches better get in that room and figure out what do we need to do to get this run game to where it should be. Period. Because we have to look at the coaches as well. There's run plays that work for us, and there's run plays that for whatever reason, we're just not doing well. So we need to figure out a better game plan to put this team in the best position to do what we need to do. Period. And we need to get healthy as well. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things to clean up and hope gets better. But at the same time, I'm not about to go off the deep end and just say, oh, it's over. We're definitely going to lose the scum now. Nah, we've seen too much ball to say that. So
no, it's
that's kind
over.
of where I'm at.
It's over. Forget it. Stop watching. Look, as long as they win, just keep watching. I mean, I don't mean as a fair weather fan. I mean, as far as keep watching with the anticipation that you're going to make the playoff and win the Big Ten. Because I mean, if you lose and you're out of it statistically, then just watch to be a fan and support the team. But right now, we have no reason to think it's over. Just win in advance right now. You know, we're in basically the playoffs at this point, where every team is like, okay, let's try to ruin Ohio State's season. Indiana's not going anywhere. So they want to try to ruin our. They're playing Penn State tough right now, but you want to. They're going to want to wreck our season. Maryland's going to want to wreck our season. Just expect these teams to come out fired up. This is their Super Bowl. They're not going anywhere. Maryland's going to go to a bowl game, but they're not going to go to a big bowl game. So what are they playing for? Ohio State's our bowl game, and we want to beat them. So we were close to beating them in 18. We're going to try to do it again. So I mean, they're going to get everybody's best shot until they get to Michigan. And it stinks. You would like to just blow these teams out, get players rested, and be hitting on all cylinders going into Michigan. But like you said, Brandon, it looked like we were hitting on all cylinders against Michigan State when we were rolling into Michigan. So that didn't go very well. So who cares? You can kind of make the point is to just get the wins and get into the rivalry game, and then get your revenge.